Oh great, I have to change my password. Password too short. Okay. Doesn't include all the complexity requirements. Come on. You used this same password 278 times ago. Who even knows that? No, I'm not giving you a blood sample. Just change my password. Howdy, y'all. I'm Brad Hughes, founder and CEO of REGOPATH and your cybersecurity guide. Last week, we kicked off National Cybersecurity Awareness Month with a brief talk on why your business should focus on cybersecurity. If you haven't already seen this video, click the link in the description below to view that content after this. Let's dive into today's topic, using strong passwords. Now, we are all familiar with passwords and, although sometimes frustrating, can understand that they serve to prevent unauthorized access to our electronic accounts and devices in order to keep our data safe. So how do we create strong passwords? First, let's look at what not to do. You don't want to reuse passwords, even old passwords, as this endangers your accounts just as much as using weak passwords. You also don't want to reuse an old password on one account, say account A, onto an account on system B. Also, don't use passwords that are based on personal information. Things like birthday, different little facts of information on yourself that can easily be identified through other means. You also don't want to use a single word that can be found in a dictionary, even in any language. Misspelling a word can sometimes offer protection against dictionary attacks, but it's no guarantee. You also want to stay away from obvious passwords such as sequential letters and numbers, like ABC, 123, or QWERTY. Also avoid common substitutions such as sW0rds for doorbell. These are really easy to compromise as well. So let's talk about some of the do's. The longer, the better. Don't make your password less than 8 characters though. And it's recommended that you use the maximum amount of characters that the system will allow. You also want to use a mix of characters such as uppercase and lowercase, letters, symbols, numbers. You also want to rely on a series of words and use memory techniques or mnemonics. For example, something completely random like I love to go to the beach in the summer. You can turn that into a password with a capital I for I and an L for love, the number 2 for 2, T-O, go to the beach, G-T-T, and I'll throw in a capital B for the beach. In the summer, I-T-S, and then an exclamation point at the end. Looking at that, somebody had no clue as to saying that you love to go to the beach, but you've already remembered it, and it's really hard to hack that information as well. So using mnemonics are also a good way to protect your passwords. Let's talk a little bit more about some other things. I want you to be aware, do not share your password with anyone, literally mean anybody, including your IT department, or if you outsource your help desk. We don't need to know your passwords, I promise. This also includes writing your password down and storing the same near your device. So do know of a company that used to store their information on sticky notes, and a few of those made it into someone's window. Another person walked by, figured out what it was, stole their passwords. Easy as that. As soon as you realize that you've shared your password or you feel that you may have been breached, change your password immediately. Cannot stress the importance of that. Lastly, I want to talk about the impact of stolen passwords. Now, security.org reported that compromised passwords caused 80% of all data breaches in 2019, resulting in financial losses for both businesses and consumers. As I mentioned last week, IBM advised the international average cost of a data breach in 2020 for businesses was $3.86 million. However, for the United States, the average cost was the highest worldwide at $8.64 million. With the rise of advanced authentication methods, passwords may eventually become a thing of the past. But until then, consider using these tips to keep yourself and your data secure. Tomorrow we will talk about an easier way to generate and remember all of your passwords, so be sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure you're notified when the video drops. Until then, stay safe and prepared.